Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In the month of July 2016, a lot of buzz has been in the media about the new video game Pokemon Go. If you haven't heard about this game, it's for your smartphone. It uses your GPS, and what you do is you go around in your community searching for digital Pokemon. The point is to collect these Pokemon characters. And what people are doing is they're getting in their cars, they're driving around, they're trying to gather as many Pokemon as they possibly can. I've noticed this in video games in the last decade. They're adding on all these things like collect this, do this to achieve this. They're making these video games more immersive, more addictive. And I think it's all, part of the grand scheme of what's being done to us in this world. They need the common person tuning out reality more and more and checking into fantasy land, virtual reality, so that they don't see all the injustices and wrongdoing going on around them, from the destruction of the environment to the decline in, quality of work. The workplace has just been on a straight decline for the past 10 years. Lower wages, less benefits, more abusive work hours. So many people in this nation are a lot worse off financially and in terms of being in a job that provides fulfillment, I guess. So, anyway, more and more people are turning to video games, movies, just ways to check out. One of the stories that caught my eye about this Pokemon Go was that a teenager in Wyoming was supposedly led to a dead body. And I was thinking about what people were doing in this video game, and it has me thinking that this article is a hoax, but also projecting unnecessary deaths that will likely come from this Pokemon video game, just from the influx of people who are now on the road staring at their smartphones even more, trying to collect Pokemon. I can see inexperienced teenagers like doing crazy lane changes on the freeway. Who knows all where this will lead to. And also think, this Pokemon Go video game, GPS, immersing you with your environment, only more games are going to finish or come out following in the footsteps. So right away, what stood out about Pokemon Go and Gematria is that it sums to 666, just like computer and just like prophecy. And in the history of computers, the number 666 is prevalent. The first Apple consumer computer was priced at $666. This makes a lot more sense when you realize that computer equals 666 in Gematria, and that the people who are running the show, guiding us down the path of agenda, they are working by the book of prophecy. And this computer, the invention of the computer, has surely helped them forge their path of prophecy by the numbers, which is what we're living out, which is what I'm explaining on this channel. So Pokemon Go, it's got this 666 coding, and this story comes out of Wyoming. Wyoming has simple English gematria of 106, just like the word prophecy itself. This teen in Wyoming supposedly was led to a dead body. And really what I think that they're trying to say is Pokemon Go is going to lead to several unnecessary dead bodies, if it hasn't already. The date of this story came out July 9th, 2016, a date with a 52 numerology, prophecy, the small way equals 52. The number 6 alone also sums to 52. Think about 666 being coding for prophecy. Wyoming happens to be the 44th state, a number very much connected to death. The word kill equals 44. The headline was that a teen found a dead body. Teen also has that gematria of 44. With regards to prophecy, coding in Pokemon Go, coding in Wyoming, the word prophet also has gematria of 44. And this story coming out on July 9th, 7/9, the word murder equals 79. It's about a teenager being led to a dead body, found, possibly a murder story. We'll see if there's any more headlines about it. I'll just read to you the way the article was. Pokemon Go is a wildly popular new smartphone game that has players exploring their real-life neighborhoods. And in rural Wyoming, it led a teenager to discover a dead man's body in a river. Shayla Wiggins, 19, told CNN Money on Saturday how it happened. Like so many others, Wiggins was eager to play the version of the blockbuster 1990s Game Boy video game. Since it's virtual reality, I thought that's cool, she said. Pokemon Go uses augmented reality, tapping your phone's camera to superimpose cute, virtual creatures in the real world. It was released on Thursday and has already been downloaded more than 1 million times on Android and Apple devices. Wiggins started playing Thursday night, catching 50 virtual animals as she walked through a parking lot and gas station. So, you know, the mainstream media, they don't print real stories. They print riddles, coded propaganda, mockings. We'll see where the world of Pokemon Go takes us. The other headline that came out today is that Pokemon Go accessed the email of people who played this game on their iPhone and also use a Google account. You know, that could have been somebody like me. I have an Apple phone and I have a Google account. Thankfully, I don't have Pokemon Go, but at the same time, I'm not really that thankful because I recognize we live in a nation where we've been told that these big companies, that we pay for our phone bills, that we pay for our internet service, the telecom giants, they're collecting our data, they're collecting our information, they're essentially spying on us and keeping a record. This all came out clearly in the open in the year 2008. The Patriot Act after 9/11 clued us in 2008. It really came to light. If you recall, Barack Obama was the senator in Illinois running for president at the time, and the big issue in Congress was immunity. They were going to have a vote on if there should be immunity for the telecommunication companies who were collecting and spying on their customers, which were all the companies that we all use. Obama on the campaign trail was actually saying the right thing, that these companies had violated our constitutional rights and they could not receive immunity. But when it came time to vote, how did Obama vote? He voted the exact opposite of what he'd been saying. He voted for immunity, and immunity is what won. You know, Obama has always been on the wrong side. The wrong side of all the votes for the war, the wrong side of all the votes for the banking, the wrong side of every vote. Obama's voting record looked exactly like a member of the George W. Bush administration. It was amazing to me how many people wanted something different than Bush, but wanted to vote for Obama, who voted just like him. You know, people in this nation, they don't pay attention to reality. They pay attention to rhetoric, hype. Had anyone checked the voting record on Obama, they would have saw what kind of person he was long before he became president. And as most people know, Obama's been a very disappointing president. Something I predicted in 2008, something that was clear as day to me. So anyway, Pokemon Go even being used in the mainstream to say, hey, they're even collecting your stuff. But really, people, they're already collecting your information, your data, you're being spied on. It is the law of the land now. It is the age of the Patriot Act. I think this story really is just mockery. I like how their post time here from CNN on it is at 1:33 p.m. The word government equals 133. A lot of things that we think are private companies, they're not really separate from the government. The separation's illusion. If you read about Wall Street, big business, and the federal government, a lot of people changing between federal government, private corporation. These companies, Facebook, Apple, IBM, they're really all just branches of our federal government. Facebook started with CIA money. Google, same thing. The internet has allowed them to spy on us like never before. But think about it. There's hundreds of millions of us. It's not like they have the time to actively filter through what everyone's doing in the country. But what it does allow them is that, you know, if they see someone as a threat or they see someone they want to sabotage, it makes it a lot easier to do so. You know, if somebody ever wants to pull the file on Zachary Hubbard, it'll be easier to get some dirt, you know? The company that makes this game, Pokemon Go, developer Niantic Incorporated, the way they spell their company name, 96 like Freemason. And remember, it's Freemasons running the show at the top. That's what the real government is. That's what the real private industry is. It's the network of Freemasons making decisions for the masses, steering the course of humanity. You know, we're also given these fronts all the time. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. The name Bill Gates equals 33 in gematria. Head of Microsoft for 33 years. Just ask yourself, who has the name Steve Jobs, you know? Steve Jobs died on an interesting date right for sacrifice. They got this headline, Man in the Machine, the 137 number, 137, the 33rd prime. All numbers of Masonic importance. Here's Mark Zukerberg, the guy who wears the hoodies with the Star of David inside. ISIS Packers threaten Zuckerberg. This headline came out the day after Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey met with the FBI about combating online terrorism. Later in the same day, ISIS backers threaten Zuckerberg. It's so fake and ridiculous. It's so transparent. Look at the gematria in the headline. 322 like the Masonic Order, Skull and Bones. 133 like government. You never seen the video of Zuckerberg taking off his sweatshirt with the Star of David inside? Check that out. The head of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, another guy with the 666 coding. A lot of 666 around computers. Of course, because computer sums to 666. So anyway, going off on tangents. But I'd be careful to load that Pokemon Go on your phone, you know? People need to stop playing video games, check into reality. Time to take the world back. Till next time, True C.